All right, here we are on the podcast in Houston with my buddy Larry Goodwell, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Very hilarious comedian based out of Houston and a fellow gun guy. That's how we met. We did a show in Houston.
Absolutely.
And I had a gun joke that was like a newer one, and it kind of bombed, but you laughed. You thought it was hilarious.
It didn't bomb to me.
Okay. I can't remember which one it was.
You
But
mentioned that you were a gun enthusiast, and I forget the setup and punch and everything.
yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, I was like, all right, this guy. I didn't even know you were a comic at the time. I think during my set, I was like, oh, this guy knows something about guns.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And then I realized I knew you, and I don't get starstruck, but I kind of got starstruck. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this guy before. And then you told me who you were, and I was like, oh my God, dog, I can't believe I'm talking to him.
That's great. Usually I have the opposite experience when comedians find out, my very dark past of guns. They're weird about it.
Well, because a lot of comics are soft. That's why. But
I mean, I feel like artist communities in general,
yeah.
I need to turn you up just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're up all the way, so you got to talk a little louder.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. There's echo in here. So this is another one of the podcasts that I'm kind of doing on the road while I'm in Houston. Got a show tonight. By the time you see this, it's over, but I got a show tonight at the Secret Group. There was another spot upstairs in this place that I was going to film, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Thought this was a cool backdrop, but the audio in here is echoey.
Yeah.
Not great.
But I'd rather have...
I mean, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd have Super Mario. I'd rather have
Yeah, I should have told them we're just in Mario World. This is what it sounds like here.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly. Live from Super Mario
Live
World.
we're waiting to get saved.
Yeah. It's pretty dangerous. That's why we got.
Yeah,
that's why we got pistols.
We got our guns out.
Yeah, it's nice being in Houston, a city that's like cool with guns versus Chicago.
Man, I could not live in a city that didn't allow people to carry guns.
Yeah, stuff.
That's where all the crime is.
Right.
Yeah,
in the city. Isn't that ironic? Out in the country, a lot of times it's like, more relaxed, but not. But
everybody's got a gun. That's why.
Right. But that's it. Yeah, true.
Everybody's got a gun. Yeah,
exactly. But in the city, that's where you need it the most.
Exactly. And I'm a proud Texan, so
hell yeah.
You
need that threat. Like in Chicago, and I'm sure here too. Like carjacking is a big fear, and it happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Armed robbery. And I've talked about this some on the podcast before, but you have to think about it realistically. Even if you are carrying, you got 4 or 5 dudes that hop out or whatever, like you may not be able to defend yourself, but I tell you, all it takes is a couple stories about someone doing it or someone trying, and it is a total game changer from their perspective.
Yep.
And I don't know what I would do in that situation. I've never been in that situation, but I like to think I would be angry enough to be a problem, especially if I'm carrying a gun,
Well, yeah. My dad used to always say I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right.
So if I was getting carjacked, after I pissed myself,
right. I mean, it would be terrifying.
I think I defend myself afterwards. But I definitely pee on myself.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
The musty survivor.
Yeah, the pissy survivor.
Yeah, that's like the smell of victory.
Piss is the smell of victory.
Yeah.
That would be so crazy.
Imagine on like a medieval battlefield how much piss and shit you would smell.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody is pissing and shitting on themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how, as all the problems in the world now, it's like we are lucky we don't live in those days where people just had to fight like that with knives and swords and
I don't know if I can,
hammers. And
no semi-automatic weapons or nothing. It's just, fuck, I don't know if I want to live then.
Yeah.
I like technology. I'd much rather live now than during that time because you got to smell like piss and then you got to come in contact with other people's piss.
Right.
And then fight.
Yep.
I'd rather shoot somebody from a distance.
Yeah,
so you don't have to get nowhere near anybody's piss. That is disgusting.
Yeah, like war tactics would have been different back then because you would have they're over there.
Yep, you can smell them. Yep, the smell of victory is over there. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
man, yeah.
Or you could literally be like, they're scared.
Yep, yeah, it's new piss. They're pissing on themselves. It's fresh piss.
Exactly. I've always wondered though, if you went back in time, we'll say to the sword days, right, pre-guns, if you had an AR with, we'll say, unlimited ammo, how many could you take on an entire regiment? Probably could.
I would change history.
Yeah, that could be done.
I've always dreamt of, I don't know how popular this is going to be, but if I was going to travel back in time with an AR and unlimited ammo, then I don't know how long slavery would have lasted.
Right.
It'd have probably been like 3 weeks,
Yeah, I think so.
and I would have ended all of it.
Yep.
And then, we'd be different now.
Right, we would.
Yeah.
It would be a lot different.
Yeah, it would be a lot.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It would be, I would,
Yeah.
do God's work.
I used to. I say used to, but I don't know. I might revisit at some point. But I've had a joke in my act that I've teetered around before, where to me it's funny. I've never gotten it to really work like I want it to, but the idea is like, I care about racism for selfish reasons because I look like the people who are causing the problem, right? So it's like even if I didn't care, now I do.
Yeah, yeah, that'll work.
That's kind of the idea.
That would work in an urban room because you win a lot of people over. Oh, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, yeah, because white people, they got to kind of check like, is that racist? Are we allowed to say? Is he allowed to say that? Whereas like black people don't have to check with anyone. They know.
We know. And then you would gain favor, and I call it the Eminem effect. Like you automatically have people liking you because you don't look like the crowd. So I would try that joke in front of.
Yeah.
Try it.
I should. Yeah. I enjoy comedy that is, where you got to walk on eggshells a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun, But like so, I've done some race jokes and things like that, and I like to kind of like prove that like I know where the line is. I know I'm not racist, so I know I'm not going to try to have a point that's bad. Mm-hmm. I'm not. There's nothing I'm trying to get away with here that's bad. I'm just seeing like like how can I kind of sneak through this very needle that needs to be threaded in a certain way where people don't get the wrong idea, right? Which is kind of fun. But sometimes if I'm doing like an all-white crowd, it feels like, it's too safe for this. And then if I'm doing a mostly black crowd, it feels like I'm doing it only because the crowd is black. So I kind of end up not doing it a lot of time.
I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck it, do it anyway. But I know in front of predominantly white crowds, I just let loose. Mm-hmm. Like I go as dark as I can. I say the most disgusting things I can because they accept it more.
Right.
You can't do that in front of black crowds.
Right.
Because, you can, but you might bomb.
Right.
So, you got to find that line and walk it.
Yep, absolutely. That's one thing I like about Houston is the audiences here are very diverse. Because a lot of the crowds down here, you're going to get a pretty reliable read on the joke. If it works here, it's probably going to work most places.
Well, on paper, Houston is the most diverse city in America.
I can believe it.
And so I'm out in these comedy streets quite often, and the crowd looks like a Benetton ad. Remember Benetton?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's an old man reference.
Okay, all right.
I turned 50 today, so
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of old man references.
Okay.
But Benetton was a clothing. Yeah, they made clothes, and all of their ads had every race in all their ads. So that's how our crowds look.
Yeah.
You see interracial couples. It's not one thing. It's everything, and it's like, call it racial gumbo. That's what our crowds look like.
Yeah.
So if a joke works here, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work everywhere else.
Right. Which for people who don't know, that's so important as a comedian, in your home to find places, your home scene where you can work out stuff and you get a lot more work done a lot faster.
Yep.
Because, it's important to do a lot of sets, but the quality of the stage time matters too, where, you could do 10 sets with vastly different types of crowds, or actually worse would be if it was all one type of crowd, because then you're going to get maybe the wrong idea about what that really is. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you do a diverse crowd, like one or two times, you kind of, all right, this is good or this is bad. You know?
Because you want everybody laughing. You don't want
Exactly.
just one group laughing because you kind of limit yourself.
Right.
So you want to be funny to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why Houston is a great comedy scene because all our crowds are diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good city too. I like it. Yeah, you're like, let's chill out there.
No. I love Houston. I love anywhere I can legally carry a firearm.
Right.
Is lovely to me.
Yeah.
I love it here. I grew up here.
Yeah. Okay.
This home.
Did you grow up like in the city or more outside?
I grew up in the suburbs.
Okay.
Missouri City.
Okay.
It's about 15 minutes outside of Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, southwest side.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Houston. That's one thing that I would assume is probably different. Chicago versus Houston, where the suburbs are like a bigger deal in Chicago, where it's like some people consider that almost not the city. Because it's big. It's just, I don't know. The city is like such its own thing, and then you get out to the suburbs, and it's completely different. Whereas
Same.
Well, I feel like it's like a quicker distance, though, right? I don't know. I mean, I like in Chicago, like hell, it may take you like 25, 30 minutes just to get a few miles even out of the city.
It's the same.
Is it like that here? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Houston. Okay, so Chicago is the third largest city in America. Houston is number 4.
Okay, so
in terms of population.
Right.
But in terms of size, Houston is enormous. So yeah, 25, 30 minutes to go a few miles. That sounds very
pretty
familiar.
similar. Pretty similar then.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
There's a comedy club that I performed at in Chicago that is on my street. It's on the street that I live on, but it's 8 miles north, and it takes me like 30, 40 minutes to get up there. Yeah.
That's Houston.
Yeah.
Depending on the time of day.
Right.
Houston.
That's something. Yeah, Chicago. It's definitely like not the New York city that never sleeps thing. Once it gets to a certain time of night, I mean, it just kind of empties out.
Okay, y'all go to sleep.
Yeah, they do.
We go to sleep too.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right.
This is the city that sleeps.
Okay.
We definitely
Nice.
sleep.
All right. That's the official slogan.
I just made it up.
Okay, I like it. It's good.
I'll roll with it.
Houston, the city that sleeps.
Let me call the mayor.
Yeah. Let them know you got the new slogan.
The city, well, another reason why it's the city that sleeps is Houston is known for codeine.
Okay.
The whole codeine thing that's started here. So
interesting.
we definitely sleep here.
Okay, that makes sense. Speaking of that, I now especially believe it because I saw when I was taking the Uber down to the show the other night, I saw this guy in a parking lot that was passed out and he still had a bicycle under him. Like, you ever see those old like John Wayne movies where a guy gets his horse shot and he's pinned underneath it?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's what it was like.
That's codeine.
Okay.
That's probably codeine.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's probably codeine.
And there was a bunch of people kind of like milling around, just acting like it wasn't shit.
Because they're used to. We all know.
Yeah.
That's codeine.
Damn.
City that sleeps.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you heard it here first. Probably not though.
No.
All right. What are you? So I assume like for me, I live in Chicago because of comedy. Now you grew up here, of course. I moved there. I grew up in Nashville. But the thing that brings me into cities, it makes me appreciate them, is because of comedy. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if I wasn't doing comedy at all, I wouldn't like never visit cities. But I'd be like, I'm gonna get out in the country. Are you kind of the same way, or if you weren't doing comedy, would you still try to be in a major city like Houston?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't. I like going to the country to get away from the hustle and bustle.
Right.
And then I'm there for like 36 hours. I'm like, oh, shit, I haven't heard any hustle and bustle. Let me go
Right.
back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the city.
I understand that.
I'm a city kid.
Yeah. I kind of understand that now because I'm starting to get that way, because I grew up in the woods. But sometimes when I'm back in Nashville, my place in Nashville is like out in the suburbs, but it's very quiet. And it's like, oh, damn, my tinnitus is worse than I thought.
So Nashville, you're from Nashville?
Right, originally, yeah, born and raised, yep.
Okay.
Yep. But out in the country around it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, not like in the city. I was just curious about that, being a gun guy, I guess, a way that a lot of people do that, gun guys that, for whatever reason, their work or whatever, they need to be in a city, is they'll have like land. They'll just buy land out in the country. They don't even have a house on it. They'll just go out there and visit it and shoot around.
Well, I'm not rich, so I have an uncle that has a lot of land. So we use his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we use his. He's
Nice.
got 12 acres out in Huntsville, Texas. So
Okay.
we go out there and
Yeah, you're saying that shooting outside is the way to go.
yeah, I hate shooting inside sucks.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, a lot of people have to do it, but yeah, there's something about outside, putting something out there you can fuck up. You know.
Oh man, you just feel like you're one with nature, and it's like pissing outside.
Right.
Pissing outside is way better than pissing in the bathroom.
Smells like victory.
It smells like callback. Smells like victory. Yeah, it's just the wind and the sounds. It's
Yeah.
a more comfortable piss.
That is a great analogy, though. I mean, it is like it's the same kind of thing. Like shooting guns outside is better in the same way pissing outside
It's the
is.
same thing.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, I remember I was spoiled because I grew up on the shooting range where we filmed the Hickok 45 videos. And I remember when I was in college, I went to this like some kind of like hunting, like TWRA range or something like that. It was outdoors, but it was very like organized and
Controlled.
Had the yeah. Yeah, and I was just like, "Can I bring like drugs out here and shoot them?" I was just like so dumb. I didn't know shit. And the guy was like, "Hell no! What are you talking about?"
You can't bring, no, you can't.
Yeah,
That is so illegal. Those two worlds don't mix.
no, they don't. Like,
Unless you sell drugs, and but no.
yeah. Oh no, I meant no jugs.
I thought you said drugs.
No, not drugs.
Oh, I
no,
was about
no,
to say,
no,
oh,
no,
no.
no.
Okay, all right.
No, don't like jugs, like targets that you
Oh,
would shoot.
I thought you said.
No,
drugs.
no.
Okay. I got nervous for a minute. Like drugs?
No, jugs.
Jugs. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Those two.
Yeah. No, I can't do that either. They even a lot of ranges have the this like rapid fire rule where you run into that where
You can only like
one round a minute or something.
one or 5 shots, and you got to stop.
Oh yeah.
And if you shoot like that 6th shot, they might kick you off the range. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I got 30 rounds in here. Why can't I shoot them all at once?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the worst. Like if you're, it's I guess to protect the other people that are in there just to calmly sight in their rifle, you know. But hey, this is good practice for you, you know. Like you're definitely gonna make that shot on the deer if you can do it while there's gunfire happening all around you.
And I don't understand, like, you can only, like, shoot so many rounds and then you have to stop, because if it all goes to hell, it's going to be, that's what it's going to sound like. Everybody's shooting, so you might as well get used to it.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Yep. Yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. You ever shooting the like full auto stuff once?
And won't lie to you, I got nervous.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't. It was something fully automatic, and as soon as I pulled, and I didn't want to drop it, but I was like, "Oh man, this is okay." I got nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you know, yeah, I'm a weirdo. I shot my first fall when I was like 4 years old, so I have no memory of like that being like novel, you know. But I could picture it though. I mean, it's a different thing.
War?
Yeah. So my dad, who you know, is Hickok 45. He had a full auto Uzi, transferable Uzi, the regular full size one. And yeah, he would let me shoot when I was a kid. I mean, it was. The first thing I ever shot was a 22, but that was like a great gun for me to shoot because it's so heavy. And he would put it on semi-automatic, and it had this really short stock, you know, and he would kind of help me hold it, you know. But then he would. He'd let me shoot a few rounds, and then it'd be like 4 or 5 rounds left in the magazine. And he'd be like, "Okay, you can put it on full auto," and he'd let me finish. That was so like that. I kind of like learned to shoot with a full auto Uzi.
You know, I don't know your dad. I don't know him. But if somebody told me, "Hey, you have to choose a white man to adopt you," it would be your dad. I promise you, dog. I love your dad. I've never met him. He's one of the coolest people on the planet.
Yeah.
And I've never met him, but he seems like, wow, 4.
Well, if I ever get him to come with me down to Houston, we'll have to make that happen.
Don't do that.
Or if you're ever coming through Nashville.
Oh, I'll get so excited. I'll seriously get starstruck.
Dude, yeah, if you come through Nashville, I'll we'll have both of you on the podcast at the same time. I have a studio in Nashville too where I record.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Okay, all right.
because I will make plans this evening. I'm going to Tennessee.
All right.
Going to Nashville.
You should. Have you ever been to Nashville to do stand up?
No.
It's a good spot. I can put you in touch with some people.
Thank you, man. I've heard Nashville. I haven't heard too much about Memphis, but I've heard Nashville has a very good scene. So
Yeah.
I'm anxious to get out there.
And there's some other shit too that's like not far from there. So I mean, you could easily put together a little run, for sure.
I'm going to Nashville. Yes.
That's the one thing I will say. As much as I love Texas and I love coming down here, it's got to be like when you go on the road, it's a lot of driving, right? I mean,
I fly.
oh, you fly? Okay, well that takes care of that problem. I
Fly,
guess.
yeah. I'll drive to Austin, Dallas,
Okay.
San Antonio.
Okay. And
That's
Dallas is pretty. How far is that from here? About 3 hours?
3.5.
3.5. That's
Close
pretty
to-
good little hike. Yeah.
But I mean,
Doable. Yeah.
But Nashville,
Oh yeah.
I'm flying.
Yeah, it's a hike. I drove to Houston from Panama City. I had a show Saturday night in Panama City, and then I had shows here as Sunday night. And I left at like 6 a.m. and drove all the way.
How long?
It was like almost 10 hours.
No.
And I got stuck in standstill traffic where we were just stopped on the interstate for like an hour. Like people started making friends and shit. You ever seen that?
Yes, dog. That is the
Dude, they were like saying bye to each other when we got there.
We will never see each other again. Even if we exchange numbers, I'm not gonna call you, dog. You
Yeah.
just serve the purpose. You're my
Yeah.
friend in traffic.
Right. Traffic friend.
Yeah. Traffic friends don't work out.
Nah, it's not a reliable friendship. you
No,
know?
it's not. No,
Nah.
no. It's
Yeah.
that's why I fly.
Yeah, you're bonding over carnage.
That is trauma friendship.
Yeah. It was something. It had to be something bad too because they had both ways blocked on the interstate. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, it was bad. I think. I mean, I didn't get to see it. By the time I got up there was still one smashed up car left, but they had all these tow trucks come through, so they towed like everything out of there. And there's ambulances. I mean, there's probably like 12 or 13 emergency crews that flew past me, at one point. And it was about an hour they had it stopped, and they were like cleaning it up or dealing with it or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I hope everybody's all right. And
Some of them are dead for sure.
I'm quite sure. Yeah, if you were in traffic that long, somebody's dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I hope they had life insurance.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Damn.
Yeah.
Panama. Damn. Yeah, I'm flying. I'm not driving.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of like it for some reason. I don't know why.
Because you shot a fully automatic gun
that
at
why?
4 years old.
Is
Yeah,
that why?
that's exactly what it is. It's childhood trauma. That's why you like being in traffic.
I don't like traffic, but I mean I like driving long distances. Is what I'm saying.
Well, if you drive long
Yeah,
distances,
okay.
there's more opportunity to be in traffic. So
You're right. I guess you're right. It's
Yeah.
like your car is like becomes like your house.
there's no bathroom. See, that's the problem. That's why I don't like driving. There's a small bathroom in the plane.
You're right.
I'd much rather, do that than.
That's true. I did have to pee when I was stuck in the traffic,
See?
and there was like people all around me. I was like, well, I gotta go. So luckily I have a Yukon, so it's a 4-door vehicle, so I was able to like create the little privacy booth,
Did you have a Gatorade bottle?
I
'Cause
did
I've always
not.
See,
I've-
Gatorade bottle.
I know. I made that mistake one time. One of my favorite on the road stories of being stuck in traffic. I got stuck in traffic one time when I was on the road, and I was there for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, it was crazy, and I had to pee really bad. So I tried to pee in a bottle, a regular sized bottle, and you know how you get rejected.
Yeah.
If you try to pee in a bottle, you get rejected at a
Gonna
certain
get
point.
rejected, yes.
And I knew that was going to happen. It wasn't my first rodeo with that, and I wasn't able to make it happen. So I had a bag of beef jerky that I was eating earlier, and I just kind of grabbed that out of the passenger seat, and then opened up this bag of beef jerky and pissed in that
Was there still some jerky left?
a little bit.
Oh, God.
It still tasted all right though.
Oh, God. I'm sure it was quite salty.
Yeah. Preserved it actually.
That is disgusting.
So I beat in the beef jerky bag. And so I just had this like bag of piss in my passenger floorboard. And then finally, when the traffic was over, I got pulled off to the gas station. And of course, there was a bunch of other people who are also stuck in the traffic at the gas station. And I tried to like sneakily throw away bag, but the guy was like on the other side of me was throwing something away at the same time. So I was just throwing away this like yellow bag of liquid with a beef jerky bag, and it's like, well, he knows what's up.
I thought I thought that story was going to end by you saying it busted open and piss flew on it.
No.
Oh, that'd have been a better end.
No. If this was a bit, I could have done that. I could have.
You should, yeah.
Could have lied that. Real stories on the podcast.
Oh, real stories. Okay, I'll stop lying. I'm gonna stop lying.
Oh shit, you've been lying this whole time. Fuck.
No.
That's okay. You can.
My name's
lie.
Arnold. It's not Larry.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
Yeah, no, it's Larry. Damn. Pissing in the beef. See, that's why I don't like driving.
Really?
No, not long distances. You got to piss in a beef jerky bag, and
Yeah.
you make traffic friends. No, man.
Yeah. Traffic friends. That's crazy.
I'm gonna sit by the window, put in my AirPods, watch a movie, go to sleep.
Yeah. It's a good way to do it. I have trouble sleeping on planes. I don't know why.
That's because you're tall.
That's
That's
probably
what it is. Yeah, you're tall. I'm tall for normal people. You're
Yeah.
tall, period. So
Yeah, maybe that's why I prefer driving, because it's like I'm very boxed in on planes.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and now I'm fucked because the whole exit road thing, that's not safe anymore apparently. You know.
My brother got stuck in New Orleans behind that. He had to drive home. So I'm glad it happened to him because I don't really like my brother.
Okay.
No, I mean I love him, but I don't like him. So
Okay. All right.
you're pretty much fucked. You're gonna have to drive everywhere.
Yeah. If you know what we're talking about, what was that, like a week ago or something?
Yes.
The exit road door just blew off.
Blew off. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that something way worse didn't happen.
They canceled every flight that day.
Yeah. They were like, I saw the video and the plane looked full, and then they were like, luckily there was no one sitting in those seats. And I was like, but were they? Or did they just, their families get paid off?
I don't believe anything on the news, so I'm gonna assume that somebody was sitting there and now they're.
It seems like a pretty big coincidence because the plane looked full in the video I saw, and there was no one sitting on that row.
But the exit row wasn't. No, come on.
That's the row everybody wants.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're getting to the bottom of it right here.
We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, the lawsuits that these companies can find themselves in. I would not be surprised if things like that happen and they get paid off. I tell you, one of my favorite. You ever watch the show Comedians in Cars with Coffee, Jerry Seinfeld show?
Every episode.
Okay, yeah, me too. My favorite part of all of those episodes is when Tracy Morgan is on and they're at Tracy Morgan's house and Jerry's like, "Did you save any of the money?" And then Tracy goes, "Walmart, Jerry, Walmart."
Man, I love that show. That's my comfort show.
It's great. It's
I
so good.
Oh man, yeah. Shout out to Tracy Morgan, man.
Oh man, one of the best.
I need to find a Walmart truck to hit me. I need that kind of money, man. Damn.
Yeah. Talk about like the most unlucky and lucky situation.
You almost die, but you don't, and now you're wealthy.
Right.
I'd take that chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he seems to have made a full recovery.
I mean, he's got all his limbs.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for?
I mean, he put out a special after that happened,
Exactly.
and he's still funny, so.
I would take that chance
Yeah.
every day
Yeah.
because I hate my job.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he legit almost died, though. It was bad.
But if you almost die, you don't know.
That's true.
Was he in a coma?
I think he was for a little bit.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I'd take that chance.
Yeah.
That's some good sleep.
That's true. It's pretty crazy how successful he was in his career. Now he's on a whole nother level of money.
All because of an accident.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. I remember it reminds me of where you were just saying there's a scene in Band of Brothers. You ever watch that series?
No.
World War II? It's great. One of the best things ever made about World War II. And there's a scene in there where this guy had these like new recruits coming in, and he's like talking, he's like saying something like, he's like, "Oh, it's the best, you get all this food and fuck, I can't remember what he said. I just remember him saying like, if you die, you won't know."
We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like everything's good.
Yeah, and a coma is like death light because you
Right,
you
yeah.
come back, but you don't know. So
Yeah.
I'd take that chance.
Yeah. I tell you, though, if Tracy Morgan had been in a coma for like 10 or 15 years, imagine how much funnier his special would have been, though.
Nobody would know who he. Well, no,
No, no.
we know.
Yeah.
But a 10-year coma.
That's a way funnier story, too.
Yeah, because it's all kind of new shit. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Because 10 years before the iPhone,
Right.
and then bam.
They could be like, what the hell is all this shit?
Yeah. Trade, man. Man, I'm looking for a Walmart truck tonight.
Yeah, what would be the worst truck to get hit by? Like the Dollar Tree truck. You know?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I don't
not
know
good.
because they just increased the prices, so they gotta have a little bit more money.
Oh shit, did they?
Yeah.
Was it the $2 tree now?
Well, it's still Dollar Tree, but everything in there is like over $1. But they still market themselves
Oh,
as Dollar Tree.
That's
So,
crazy.
I don't know if they have as much money as Walmart, but
Yeah.
they're working with something.
Yeah.
I'd rather get hit by a Walmart truck, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny. Yeah, Dollar Tree is one of those places where you're like, oh shit, just $1, and then you walk in there and you're like, this shit isn't even worth $1.
And it's $1.30.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, fuck Dollar Tree. I don't want to get hit by that truck.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys have these out here, but I had that experience with Dollar General markets. Do they have those out here?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's supposed to be like a cheap place, but it's more expensive than Walmart.
It's like Macy's.
Yeah, they just don't have they just don't have the 99-cent deal that like everything for sale ever does.
No.
It's like still more expensive.
Yep. You might as well go to a grocery store.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
They have more variety at the grocery store, and it's same prices.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Dollar General.
Yeah,
Man.
it's all a fucking scam.
Why did anybody sue them for false advertising?
Yeah, that's true. I guess you can't. I don't know.
I mean, you can sue anybody for anything,
That's true.
but you're not gonna win.
Right, especially the kind of lawyers and shit.
Yeah,
that they're gonna have.
I'm gonna have like a court-appointed attorney, and they're gonna have like legal department, and they'll win.
Yeah,
It's worth a shot, though, man.
yeah, yeah. You can't beat a department.
No, you can't beat a department. No.
It's like it's like you play GTA 5 and you try to invade the military base.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna win.
Yeah,
I'm a vigilante going against the police department. I'm gonna
Yeah.
lose every time.
yeah, exactly.
Nah, yeah.
Speaking of that, did you see the you ever played GTA? GTA guy at all?
No, but I've watched my friends play, and one of my close friends is a character on GTA 5.
Oh, really?
Lamar.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lamar. His
yeah,
real
yeah.
name is Slink Johnson. That's one of my
Okay.
buddies. Yeah, he's
Hell yeah
on the game.
That's cool as fuck. What is he, a comic or was he?
He's a comic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Slink, if you're watching, I hate you.
that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's very cool. Yeah, I was curious if you saw the new trailer, what you thought about it.
I saw the new trailer, and I can't wait to watch one of my friends play it.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite things to do. Watch them
Okay.
play GTA 5 or GTA 4.
Yeah.
Because I don't really play games.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I like to watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's coming out in 2025.
I think so. Yeah. It's still going to be a bit. That's the thing. We don't know when in 20. I mean, it could be the fucking spring or it could be the winter. So.
And is it in Florida?
Miami.
Miami, okay.
Yeah.
They already did Miami, right? Liberty
Yeah,
City?
yeah, they're going back. Yeah, I mean, really, all the games have been kind of focused on the same places. You got like L.A., Miami, and New York, Liberty City, they call it.
Chicago needs one.
Chicago does need one, or just like I think just kind of like a random place or like a region would be interesting.
Okay, so if
Like multiple cities, which maybe they're going to do something like that with the new one though. Like the trailer just shows Miami, but it could be that it's actually going to be expanded to, whatever you got, Fort Lauderdale, like and then maybe Daytona. Like it's going to be like kind of the bottom half of Florida, maybe. And I've heard that like Cuba or South America was going to be involved in it.
wow. So if you were making a new GTA game, where would you have it?
I mean, selfishly, growing up in Nashville, a Nashville one. I think I would like to see that. 'Cause I want to go to my house. That's got to be the dream. If you live in Miami right now, you got to be excited to, or if you're really familiar with the city, to play that game and like go to places that you know.
So one of my friends, the one friend who I'd watch play the game, I'd sit there for hours and watch him play. This is when I lived in Los Angeles, and it was GTA 5. And so if he ever got bumped at a comedy club, he would drive to that comedy club and just let loose on everybody. Like he would drive up to the comedy store and just let loose and then leave.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I would do it to Chicago. I think
Chicago would be cool.
They deserve one.
Yeah.
Chicago deserves a GTA 6
Yeah.
or 7.
Yeah, I agree. Chicago would be a good one. You know, you could, especially if you incorporate like kind of a chunk of the Midwest, because you got Lake Michigan right there.
Yeah.
So you could like take boats up to Canada, maybe like have part of Canada.
Yeah.
You know, Milwaukee and Green Bay, like kind of parts of Detroit. You know,
I think Chicago needs Memphis.
Memphis would be
You got to
interesting.
do it in a city with a high crime rate.
Right, that's true.
Memphis,
Yeah, or it's not Grand Theft Auto.
It's not. Yes, Chicago, Memphis.
Yeah, maybe that could be part of the reason they don't do Chicago. Is it's just Chicago has such a reputation for crime that really it almost doesn't quite deserve. It's not even like the highest crime city.
No, it's never in the top 10 in terms of murders.
Yeah,
I always look up the top 10. I don't know. I do this morbid exercise every year. I look at the top 10 cities with the most murders. Chicago isn't.
yeah,
They're not even in the top 10. But Al Capone was there, so
right.
They have a reputation.
I think there's like a nuance that does make Chicago maybe some different to some cities when it comes to crime is the fact that like there's a lot of corruption there. And it's a big city, and there's a little bit more room, I feel like, for some like higher level type of shit to happen there because of how much corruption there is just in the government in general. Maybe New York is the same way. I know that obviously the mob was born out of New York, but but I don't know if they're corrupt from the top down in the way that Chicago is famous for being.
See, that would make the game a little bit more interesting.
Oh, it would, but it's probably too real. That's probably why they would be afraid to do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But damn it, Chicago.
Right? yeah. It's like I think that the reason that I love war movies. I don't know if you're a war movie guy, but as a gun guy, I love watching war movies. And
as a gun guy, I like watching urban movies with shootout scenes. That's what I like.
Same thing, same idea.
Okay,
right?
all right, yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
The uniforms are different.
Right, it's exactly. They're very different,
Y'all's
yeah.
are mine are red and blue, and you like camouflage.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. I was thinking the Crips like lucked out being blue. It's like like if you're getting into a shootout. Like if I had to be in a shootout, right, and you're like you could be on the Crips or the Bloods, I'm gonna have to go Crips because it's a little bit more. It blends in a little better. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, depends. I mean, is it easier?
I think it's easier to shoot something red than it is something blue.
Well, what if you have a red dot?
Shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about that.
All right.
Damn. Now I'm thinking.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna start a gang and our colors are just camo. Don't want to be able to fuck with us. Our colors are ghillie suits.
That's a great idea. And I promise you, if this gets 1 million views, the blood's gonna be on your hands because there's gonna be a gang that wears camo. The Hickox.
Yeah. There's just like there's some video I saw where someone had like an urban ghillie suit and it was like covered in just old like food boxes and beer cans and like shit like that, and they were just like laying in a corner and it literally looked like a bunch of trash where like some homeless guy or something had been sleeping there and then they just like stood up and it's like, oh,
That
shit.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if a gang starts, the blood's on your hands, buddy. I wasn't on this podcast.
I'm gonna tell them it was your idea.
That is, what? I've got proof it's yours. So
Okay, all right. But yeah, what I was gonna say though is I love war movies, but there's not been a lot of Vietnam movies recently, and I do think like the Vietnam War is just not as PC as like World War II. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit tougher for people to kind of watch.
Why do you think so? You think it's because
Well, it's complicated. I think part of it is because it's just not a great look. A bunch of white boys going over there and shooting
That's why.
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that people don't always make the connection that we were aligning with the South Vietnamese. Not that Vietnam was a good idea.
No, it
but,
was a horrible
but
idea.
it was not a good idea at all. But yeah, the idea, it's like we were on the side with the South Vietnamese against the North Vietnamese. And that kind of gets lost a little bit, I think, for the casual war aficionado,
And it had a horrible effect on American soil
Right.
because a lot of people went there normal and came back drug addicts.
True.
So that's why I don't think that war is romanticized like World like 1 and
Right.
2.
And I don't think it should be romanticized.
No.
But I like seeing movies about it. It's just an interesting time,
What was the last Vietnam movie?
The last big one, it might have been We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, like in 2003 or something, or 4. There's a bunch of war movies that came out after 9/11. Can't imagine why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I've honestly no ideas why.
don't
There were a bunch of inspiring war movies that made you want to get in on the action.
Let me enlist.
Coincidence for sure. But yeah, there hasn't been any.
Okay, so I was thinking Good Morning Vietnam. So there was a movie that came out because I'm not a
Yeah.
war movie aficionado
Okay.
like you are. So
Okay,
you said it was early 2000s,
I think so. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
and Mel Gibson was in it.
Yeah, right. That dates it, right?
Yeah, because Mel's career sucks now.
Yeah, yeah. He had a few too many beers, said a few too many real opinions,
And yeah, he got caught up. Somebody recorded him, and now he's on Tubi.
yeah, he was kind of the original Kanye, if you think about it.
He was the original Kanye.
Yeah,
Mel Ye.
yeah. I wonder if after the Kanye thing, if any of his close friends were like, "God damn it, Kanye, you went and Mel Gibson yourself."
Mel Gibson yourself. But Kanye, you're not going to be able to bounce back. Poor guy.
Yeah,
Mel was the original Kanye.
Yeah.
Just not as talented because
Yeah.
Mel doesn't have bars and Kanye does.
yeah, yep, absolutely. Kanye seems to be bouncing back though to some degree. I've heard. I've been told by people who are huge Kanye fans that it was all kind of like a plan because he wanted to get his shoe company back, right? Where he got dropped by, was it Adidas, right? And he wanted that. They were like, "Oh, he lost all this money," but that actually ended up benefiting him because now he owns it again. It was like a way for him to get out of the contract or something. I don't know enough about it, but that's what I've heard.
I've heard the same thing. And it was not a genius plan.
There was probably other ways he could have done that.
Okay, so follow me on this.
Okay.
You tell me if this is a genius plan.
Okay.
One day I'm a billionaire, and then I say some shit, and then I get in trouble behind it, and then I go to sleep. And then I wake up the next morning, and I'm not a billionaire anymore. Does that sound like a genius plan to you?
Yeah, probably not.
And I don't think he's a billionaire anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. If that was his plan, maybe it didn't work out.
No, it absolutely it did not work out. People stopped buying his shoes like that.
Yeah.
And
Because the thing is, it's like we've seen with a lot of things, like the whole Bud Light thing, right? And a bunch of things like that recently where the things that people buy, they're like commonplace items like shoes or beer or whatever. They don't want to feel like they're making a political statement with it.
no, let me buy this fucking beer in peace and leave it alone.
That was the problem. Like I was before the Bud Light thing, I wasn't a Bud Light drinker, but Bud Light at a lot of places would be like, it'd be like Bud Light or Miller, like going to go Bud Light, right? And then I'd be at like a basketball game, and when that was going on, it was like I'd rather get the Bud Light, but now it feels like I'm doing it on purpose.
Yep. So
I'm supporting something, or if I don't get it, I'm not supporting something. And it's like I'm just trying to get a fucking beer and watch a game. Like I don't want
my thirst.
I don't want to think about that, And that's what bothers me about that kind of stuff. Always is it's like God damn. It's like obviously, you know, like you gotta, if you have a voice, you know, you gotta try to make a difference if you feel a certain way about something. But there's certain brands or whatever where you're just like, I don't want to think about this in a political way, you know?
I don't want to feel like making a stand all fucking day.
Exactly.
Can
yeah.
I have a beer? Like, just
Right.
give me a beer.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what y'all stand. Just give me a beer, dog. Make
Right.
sure it's cold. I don't.
Right.
I don't want to know what
Yeah.
you stand for.
Yeah.
I don't care about your political beliefs or anything. Just give me a beer. Make sure it's cold.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that other shit. I just want my beer. And I
Right.
want it to be cold.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I get frustrated how much politics is infused into so many things. You know, like I'll give you an example. So you know, I grew up playing basketball, like you did as well. And when I was coming up, you know, LeBron James was obviously the king, right? He was like, this guy's gonna be the next Jordan. You know, I'll never forget being on a bus my freshman year in high school, and someone handed me a magazine and be like, you know, he was on the cover.
Sports Illustrated.
I think that's what it was. He was still playing in high school, and that was the first time I heard of him. They're like, this guy, he's supposed to be the next Jordan. I remember, like, you know, we all talked about it, you know, and everything, right? So, I mean, you know, my whole basketball life is like, you know, I remember watching him play in the Heat and all that kind of shit. But I'd never seen him play live. Never seen him play live. And Lakers came to Chicago to play the Bulls, and I was like, tickets are fucking expensive because it's LeBron James, but I got to do it. I got to go. I got to go. Who knows? He may retire next year or may not get the chance or whatever. I got to do it. I got to see LeBron James. I never got to see Michael. I got to see LeBron. I went there, took some photos, posted on Instagram, and then all of the comments were just flooded with all this like political shit, you know, about you know him and that they don't like him because of whatever stances he has. I don't even know shit about LeBron's politics. I don't even pay attention that close. But it's like, God damn, dude, like, can't I just enjoy a good basketball player and be excited that I got to see him play? Like, why has it got to be more complicated than that?
4 quarters, possibly overtime. That's all I'm focused on. What you do on the basketball court, what you do off the court is none of my business, and I don't give a shit. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care about you building a school for kids. I don't care about any of that shit. Yeah. I care about a triple-double or anything basketball related. Now, what you do outside, that's your business, but I don't care about, at all.
Right. And I'm not one of those guys that thinks that LeBron or anyone else shouldn't be able to make their voice heard.
No, yeah.
But also it's like annoying how serious people take it. You know, I don't know.
No, it's very annoying. Like, because you're a lot younger than me and I can tell because you said when you were growing up, it was LeBron.
Yeah, 35, 50.
50 today. Yeah, today's my But
got 15 on me.
Damn, that's crazy. I was a sophomore when you were born. But I remember a time when we didn't know anything about these players.
Right.
We didn't know who they voted for. We didn't know their wives. We didn't know if they were cheating on their wife. We didn't know anything. And now all of a sudden, we know how many times LeBron picks his nose a day. And all that shit's annoying. I don't pay attention to any of that, man. But people do. And that's why when you posted that picture or whatever, people were talking about his politics. And what year was this? I can probably tell you what they were posting about.
Oh, this was recently. This was like a few months ago.
So was it the China thing? Or
there was some shit about that. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Knew it. Don't give a shit about none of that.
Yeah.
I've seen LeBron play at least 20 times in person.
That's awesome.
And that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool to get to see him. I know he's older now, but he's still LeBron.
I saw him play. I saw him play when he was with the Heat.
Really? Okay.
True story. One of my buddies at the time was in the NBA. He played for the Celtics. So I was his personal assistant.
Okay.
And one of the perks is I got to go to all the games.
That's awesome.
So he played. So I've seen LeBron play in person at least 20 times, and very impressive.
Yeah.
Young LeBron, not the old. See, you got the old LeBron.
Right.
Young LeBron.
Yeah. As peak.
Yeah.
I will say though, I grew up a Bulls fan. I'm always gonna like when it comes to the GOAT debate, I'm always gonna be Michael Jordan. But I have so much respect for LeBron though.
I don't get involved in the GOAT debates because goats travel in herds.
Okay.
So it could be more than one.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean,
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them to me. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. I mean,
Yeah.
Magic.
Oh,
Bird, Elijah, Shaq.
Yeah, those are my two favorite players growing up, and probably most people, Shaq and Jordan.
See, mine were Magic.
Dr. J.
I'm not that old. God damn, I'm not that old. I caught him on the tail end when he was retiring. But it was Magic, Mike, and Elijah.
Yeah, Jerry West. That's who I came up with. I remember Jerry West.
I remember Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, Bob Cousy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that old, dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Growing up in Nashville, I didn't get to go to a lot of NBA games because obviously we don't have a team there.
I don't have a team, yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you root for?
Chicago Bulls, because I grew up. So as a kid, I was a Bulls fan, and now that I live in Chicago, it's like, well, this is easy to be a Bulls fan.
Okay,
I've been to like 10 or 12 games this year.
So Nashville is closer to Chicago than it is Atlanta.
Well, no. So the reason as a kid, I was a Bulls fan was because of Michael Jordan and WGN.
Got to see all the games.
Exactly.
There you go.
It was broadcast in Nashville. Yeah.
No, but hold on now.
Okay.
WGN and TNT. The Hawks.
True.
Yeah,
true.
So I grew up watching Mike and Dominique, and then I watched the Braves and the Cubs.
Yeah, I remember watching the Braves a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, so isn't Atlanta closer to Nashville?
Oh, it is for sure. I don't remember watching much of Atlanta. I don't know. I mean, obviously I was a kid, so I just watched whatever my parents put on. But
Okay,
I guess because of the Bulls were a better team at that time, of course.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you were a bandwagon fan as a kid.
Oh, for sure.
No,
Yeah.
nothing wrong. I'm a bandwagon fan as an adult.
Yeah.
It's less stressful.
Are you consider yourself a diehard Rockets fan growing up here?
I'm not a diehard fan of anybody but myself.
Okay, that's fair enough.
If the Rockets are good, I'm a diehard fan.
Okay.
When they're bad, like now,
Yeah. Right.
I just enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck now, so I'm not a fan.
You would have been, you were like an adult when they were fucking winning the championships, right? Did you ever go to any of those games? You seen Akeem play?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I would see him because he lived in like I said, I grew up in the suburbs, and he lived in Sugar Land. So I would see him. Like I've seen
Really?
him. Yeah, I've seen him out in public.
Wow. He's like, how tall is he? He's like 6'11", right? Or is he 7 foot?
No, he's not. He's six. They say 6'10" and 3/4.
Okay.
I mean, he's much taller than us.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he's.
I've heard. I know they pad those numbers a little bit because I've heard through the grapevine that Shaq is not even 7 feet tall.
He is.
Oh, is he? Okay. I don't know who the fuck
He's
says
over 7 feet.
Really? Who the fuck says that?
I don't know.
You met him or you met?
Yes, I've seen him.
Okay, because people have told me that for some reason. I've heard that from a couple of sources.
The guy who I worked for, he's a legit. He's 7 feet, barefoot, and so I seen him stand up next to Shaq, and Shaq's taller than he.
Okay, all right, that makes me feel better because I was like,
he's over 7 feet, like 7'1".
Okay, someone told me he was like Shaq's really only like 6'10", 6'11".
No, somebody lied to you.
Okay, good.
That must have been somebody who was 5'3".
Okay,
they lied to you.
All right, good.
He's a legit 7. He's over 7 feet.
Good, because that broke my heart a little bit. I was like, oh fuck.
Nah. Akeem, they list him at 7 feet. He's not.
Okay, all right.
But Shaq is.
Yeah. Well, two of the best centers to ever do it, maybe up there.
My two favorite.
Yeah, yeah. I used to love Olajuwon. Love watching him play. I mean, that was some of the first basketball I kind of remember watching was that the playoffs of that year when they won it all, and then that was when Michael came back, and then they got beat by the Magic, and then the Magic got destroyed by
us, by the
Houston.
Rockets.
Yep.
That's when I was a diehard Rockets fan when they were winning.
Yeah, which was tough for me because I remember watching the Bulls series and being like, oh, I'm so conflicted because I love Shaq and I love Michael Jordan,
But Mike wasn't playing. The first year in '93, he wasn't playing.
No, but I'm talking about '95.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
The Rockets they have 2 championships. All right.
They do, yep. Oh, Kenny Smith, he's still out there,
With his bad knees. Yeah. Kenny's got the worst beard in facial hair history. Have you watched TNT lately?
Oh, yeah.
His beard is horrible. I want him to shave it so bad, but I don't want him to give up. It looks horrible.
That's funny. I love that crew though. That's a great crew.
The greatest.
I think it's the best in all of sports, probably.
To me, it's the second best all time. The number one is going to always be for me because I'm older. Is Madden and Summerall.
Okay.
John Madden, Pat Summerall, and then after is those two. I love watching those.
Yeah.
Inside the NBA, I love watching.
It's just a perfect dynamic between the two. Like Charles is obviously like the guy. He's the ringleader, kind of, you know, and he's a little more perceptive than Shaq. But Shaq is Shaq, and it's just such a great fit, you know. And then Kenny offers like a different kind of perspective.
The point guard, the coach on the court perspective.
Exactly, and then you got Ernie, the broadcaster.
He's like
tie it all together, you know.
But I appreciate it for the comedic timing.
Oh, dude, I'm sure you've seen this clip about. It fucking makes me laugh every time I see it. Where Shaq is talking about getting upset when people say his name wrong. You know what I'm talking about? He's like, someone asked him, like, you know, does it bother you if someone gets their name wrong? And he's like, yeah,
No, it doesn't bother me. He said, who they?
He goes,
call him Shrek.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
it kills
Shrek
me
and the
every
Fool.
time. Yeah.
There's an hour-long video.
What do they call you, Shrek?
Shrek and the Fool. Yeah, there's an hour-long video on YouTube, and it's an hour of all of them at their comedic best.
Yeah.
I watch it like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
It is the best shit. They are all 4 of them are very funny. Ernie's funny as hell too.
Oh, he is. Yeah. I've always felt like Charles Barkley could have been a stand-up comedian if he wanted to.
Absolutely.
He's always been funny.
Always.
Before he was like on TV a lot.
When he was playing, he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, like I had these different documentaries and stuff about, you know, like what are the Dream Team or the Bulls, and like whenever you'd see like Charles, like he just always was funny.
He's
always
very
seemed
engaged.
funny.
Yeah, he's always been funny. Shaq's always been funny too.
He is. Yeah.
Kenny was, you know, he wasn't, but he's
He's a little more serious, but
he's very funny.
yeah.
All 4 of them are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's almost like if you're watching an NBA game on TV and if it's not on TNT, it's not as enjoyable.
If it's not on TNT, this is a true story. I mute the TV and I play music.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because I don't like hearing them telling me what I'm seeing. Like I know basketball. I don't need y'all to tell me, so I mute it. But
Right.
if they're doing it, I'll listen.
Yeah. Okay. Have you watched any Bulls games this year?
No.
Okay. They're I mean, obviously, that's the team I'm paying attention to the most. But they've kind of had an interesting season where they started off dog shit, and then they've really started like getting it together. Kobe White has been playing incredible.
Are you guys going to trade Zach LaVine?
You know, he's been playing really good since he came back. So I'm thinking that maybe they won't now.
I'm thinking maybe they will.
They might. I've heard rumors too that was it LeVar Ball that they've had sitting on the bench for years or injured, that he's like coming back, which I don't know if that's true. I don't know how good he is.
That knee is shot.
Yeah,
I hope it's not, but if you've been on the bench for a few years, that knee's done.
Yeah.
They're trying to justify you being there by keeping you on the bench.
Derrick Rose type of situation.
Oh God.
The people in Chicago are still sad about that one.
I am too, and I'm not in Chicago. That is one of the biggest what ifs.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it was, you know, hometown kid and everything. I mean, it was just
Youngest
storybook.
MVP.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was working with the guy. I won't say his name on camera because we don't like each other.
Okay.
But he was playing for the Cavs, and this is the year after Derrick Rose won the MVP.
Okay.
Pre-game shoot-around, he's out there shooting, and it's a bunch of, like, Cleveland has more Chicago Bulls fans than Cavs fans.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's because Mike hit the shot on Craig Elo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there are a lot of Chicago fans, a lot of Bulls fans there.
They got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. Stockholm, there it is. And so Derek finished his shoot around, and there are a bunch of kids out there wanting his autograph. Mm-hmm. They had to send somebody from the team to get him off the court to get ready for the game because he was out there signing everybody's autograph.
Wow.
He wouldn't go in until everybody's autograph was signed. I was like, you know what? I like this kid.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, and then he got hurt. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Sad.
Yeah, it's such a shame.
But you know, I have a hard time feeling sorry for millionaires.
True.
Yeah, so my sympathy is limited.
He was able to keep playing and
He's
keep
still
earning
playing
money.
now.
He is, yeah. He's on
in
Memphis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, I don't feel that bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're anyone who is on the roster of a professional sports team that is, at least, especially if it's like the top tier, it's not like you're not in the G League or or whatever. You are making some damn good money. And I'll tell you, the first NBA game I went to since moving to Chicago, and I hadn't been to one since I quit playing. And I remember sitting there, and I had pretty good seats, and I was sitting there just looking at all those guys out there, and I was just like, damn, like to be able to put that uniform on, to walk out on an NBA court and put on a NBA team's uniform, like the amount of work it takes to get there and how rare that is. If you think about all the great college players every year and how few spots there are, and I just like almost had to just sit there and just like respect these guys, just to be like, that's God damn it. So especially like doing comedy, it makes me appreciate it even more because of how difficult.
It's only 450 of them.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's only 450 of them. Like, damn, dog.
It's a small number.
Very small number.
For everybody that plays basketball.
450. 15
Incredible.
per team.
Yeah, incredible to be on the roster of an NBA team.
Just to be on the roster.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get any. You know what the funniest thing about, because the guy I worked for, he barely played. So if you don't play, you know what they make you do after the game? Work out.
Oh, wow. I mean, you should, though.
Yeah, the bench riders are always the last ones out the locker room.
Yeah.
The guys who play, like Kevin Garnett, this guy I work, he played for the Celtics.
Okay.
Garnett, Pierce, Allen, Rondo, they be at the locker room like that. This guy, we be waiting for hours.
Oh, yeah.
To make you work out. To get a sweat in.
Right.
Because we're paying you, motherfucker. You got to do something.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'd do that, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to move up, trying to get some playing time, and secure your spot. That's the thing too. There's not a lot of just career bench riders in professional sports.
No.
They're going to take a chance on the new guy, So it's kind of like a moving up or moving out type of situation. I mean, you might not ever be a star, but you're going to have to at least get up to the place where you're like a solid, come off the bench role player that's consistently getting in the game. I think for you to like have a long career, probably at least.
It's similar to pimping. Like you're not going to keep an old hoe on the team. You're going to recruit the younger ones. It's the same thing.
That's right. That makes a lot of sense.
I want all young hoes on my team.
Yeah. It's such a difficult thing to achieve. I played against the only time I ever played against a active NBA player one time in a basketball camp. You ever guarded or played with NBA players? I'm sure you have. Right?
It was simulated and it was very scary, but not to the level you're about to say. This
level's not that impressive, but I went to a UK basketball camp when I was a freshman in high school. Rondo was still playing for UK, and I got to meet him. He was kind of an asshole to me, which he should have been. I was a fucking kid, and he was just like he just had to sit behind a desk and let a bunch of campers walk up and give him sign their shit. I'll never forget. He had a two-way. Remember those? That was a very brief time.
Sidekick. Oh no, you're talking about the two-way pager or the sidekick?
I think a sidekick.
Okay.
I mean, that was such a brief slice of technology history there, where you could text, but it wasn't like all built in with the phone yet. He was just like, and everyone else they were nice and they would say something, but whatever. I mean, he was a kid. I was a kid. He was a kid. But anyway, so back to my story. So there was an alumni at that basketball camp who was a bench rider for some NBA team. I forget who. I just knew he had been in the league for 2 years. He might have even had been out for a year. I don't know. But that was just what someone told me, was he had been in the NBA for 2 years, and I had never seen him before, and he wasn't like a known player. But he was big. He was like 6'7", and we had this scrimmage. It was kind of mixed with some like different alumni and other campers and stuff, the older ones. And I was big, so they threw me out there. And I remember guarding this guy, and it was like I'll never forget. It's like he felt solid as a rock, but his movements were so fluid, and there was like no fat in his movements. And it was just like, this guy could destroy me at any time he wanted. You know what I mean? Like looking back on it, it was clear that he was not like giving it 100%.
This is why I hate the comment section whenever sports are being discussed, because some idiot is going to call a professional athlete, oh, he's trash, or he sucks,
Right. Yeah.
or he's not good.
Yeah.
The worst player on any NBA team can come on the court and be the best player you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Like I've seen bench riders, like people who don't get any clock, shoot around, they're going 17 to 20 from three,
Yeah.
and they don't play.
Right.
So nobody in the NBA is trash.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And they will dominate any pickup game. I don't give a shit where it is.
There's, even the worst G League players probably shock you. You
Thank
know.
you. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was left an impression on me. It was just like
Now I'm thinking, who could have, was it Patrick Patterson? You said UK.
Kentucky. Yeah, black guy. He was like about.
Of course.
Yeah, he was a 5'3" white guy. Had
Yeah, and he
glasses.
was-
God, he was so good.
He was great. 46 inch vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was. I mean, this is so long ago. But yeah, Rondo was playing then. I remember Kentucky had this guy at that time. His name was Shagari Aline or Alil, something like that. And he was 7'3". And
I remember that dude.
God damn, he was huge. I physically, with my own eyes, watched him dunk without leaving the ground.
Yeah, they just tiptoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It was crazy. I don't know how much play. I don't think he got in the game a lot. I don't think he went to the NBA or anything. but-
no, he didn't.
yeah. But goddamn, yeah. Playing against those players. And then I remember they had a scrimmage that was all current players and alumni that we just watched. None of us campers were in the game. We just got to watch.
Who was in this fucking game?
Rondo was in this game.
I mean, but like former and current. So who were the
Yeah,
former players?
there was no one like super famous. I mean, Rondo probably would have been the most like known player out of that group.
Okay.
To my knowledge. And there was some alumni that I think like never made the NBA or whatever.
Okay.
Shit like that. But there were some that did. And the Rondo was still playing for Kentucky at this time.
Oh, he was still in college.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I remember watching them play. I'm used to like high school games, the speed of high school. And I'm watching this like half-assed top tier college, some NBA players, just running back and forth, and getting into it, like cussing at each other, even though like we're like these campers, we're watching, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed. But they're like, man, fuck you, fuck that, just like talking, like, I mean, it was a competitive, you know.
yeah.
And I remember just being like, God damn, this is kind of scary.
I'm sure you heard the N word like 50 million times.
yeah.
I already know. Yeah, but
Yeah. Tubby Smith was coaching then.
oh, Tubby was there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Kentucky has had a lot of players go to the NBA.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even before, Calipari.
Yeah.
Even before it, like it was.
Was
Tubby
it?
Smith.
I'm not dreaming this, am I? Wasn't Grant Hill there?
No, Duke.
Oh, that's okay. That's right.
Blue uniform, blue and white. Got the blue and white confusion.
Yeah, I did.
No,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
Duke.
Okay.
Jamal Mashburn.
Okay.
Damn, Ron Mercer, Derek Anderson. I can name a shitload of Wildcats.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to, when I played AAU ball, I got to play at Duke on their court for like a game. It was kind of cool.
Wow.
You ever do that when you played? Do you ever have like a summer league game or something where you get to I knew a guy in Chicago that got to play a game at the United Center in AAU.
No, because
Yeah.
number one, I wasn't that good, and I'm not your height. So
Okay.
no, your basketball career is way better than mine.
Okay.
I'm looking at you and all like, damn, this motherfucker got to play Kentucky and Duke.
Yeah. I didn't go farther. I mean, I went to some like Division II school and kind of washed out. I was just like, I don't know. It's one of those. I don't know if you ever had these thoughts. I'm sure everyone does, where it's like, man, I wish I could have gone back in time with the brain I have now.
All the time. I think that all the time.
I didn't understand like what true hard work was and what it took. It's one thing I like about comedy is because there's not a clock ticking as much in the sense of, you can do this shit forever, So it's like, I'm able to take all my life experience and put everything I can into it. Whereas like when you're a kid, it's like you're learning what life is and learn how to be an adult and just
don't
like
know shit.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind, like these guys that just fucking, out the womb, they're just like know what they want to be and they're ready to go and they just work for some kind of goal. And it's like, you're fucking
Like
15.
LeBron was
Yeah.
placed on this earth to be a small forward in the NBA.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. Yeah,
So yeah, but I was not. I was placed on this earth to kind of bounce around and work bullshit jobs and then discover comedy
Yeah.
and be halfway good at it.
yeah,
That's my purpose. So I don't understand anybody who's extremely mature at 16 and look, I'm going to the NBA, I'm going to take care of my mom and do this, and they actually do it. I don't understand that level of commitment.
I don't either.
That's crazy.
There's some comedians like that where it's like you're one of those comedians and they're like 25 and they're like, yeah, I've been doing this 10 years. You're like, fuck.
See, I started at 30. I started at 33.
Okay.
I started late in life. So whenever I see like a young comic, I always give them horrible advice to sabotage their career, and hopefully they stop doing this shit because it's all competition, dog. It's still
It is, yeah, it is, yeah.
Like, I'm always amazed when I see a comic who's, I'm 26 and I've been doing comedy for 9 years.
Yeah.
Like, you son of a bitch, you're gonna make it.
I think young comics have some advantage of like, there's this thing I've seen in comedy where people look at it like sports, where they're like, oh, if you're already this good and you're this young, how good are you going to be? And it's like, it doesn't really work like that.
No, it didn't.
But not a lot of people don't understand that. But I will say, I think starting, there's an advantage to starting later. I started at 27, which is not as late as you did, but there's something to like having already lived a regular life before you start comedy, you know, because if you are just only like a lot of times there's some like prodigies out there, but most of the time these really young comics, you know, their act is very juvenile even as they grow up and get older, you know.
And then they can't live life off the stage because you know that off the stage there's drugs, there's women, there's a lot of temptation, and when you're younger, you know, you're more susceptible to take drugs or have a bunch of hoes after the show.
Yeah.
I was 33. I was like, man, I don't want to do any of that shit. I want to go home.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's a benefit to starting late, but I wish I would have started at like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Because some of the greatest comics started young.
True.
Chappelle started young.
Yeah.
Rock started young. We can keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I'd have started a little younger, not at 33.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But
Can't do anything about
I'll tell you, one of the funniest people I knew when I was coming up in Nashville, his name is Josh Wagner. He has an album called Orange Juice, actually. It's very good. But he told me, because I remember talking to him about the same thing when I first started. I was like, man, I wish I'd started, you know. So I realized how young everyone was when I first started. And he was like, you start when you're supposed to. And he said it with so much confidence where it was just like, that stupid to even worry about that. No, you start when you're supposed to. And I was like, that always stuck with me.
One of my best friends who's never done comedy a second in his life told me that. I'm talking about verbatim, dog.
Wow.
Saying you start with, no, I'm sorry. He said you start when you're supposed to start.
Right.
That's
okay.
what he said.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
wow.
that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
They're both right.
Yeah, it's great. It's great advice, I think, for a lot of things. You know? It's like, what's that?
Not drugs. Never supposed to start those. But yeah.
I'm 47. I just started doing crack.
You're an
They say
idiot.
you start when you're supposed to.
No, you're an idiot. You have all this data.
Yeah, yeah. But I do think, though, it's like, there's an old saying, too. It's something like, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, or whatever.
Is that from a karate movie?
It might be. It sounds like it.
It does.
It sounds
I
like
think it is.
Okay, it sounds like it. But it's the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, sometimes I think people feel like, they want to do this thing, but they're too old or they're waited too long or whatever. But if you're really ready to do it, you know, unless it's something athletic, you got to accept.
No, because you're not going to be 47. I'm like, you know what? I want to play in the NBA.
Yeah,
That'll never happen.
that's over.
Yeah, that shit's done.
Yeah, sports. You had to start that early
As a kid.
and as a kid, and never quit. And yeah,
Yeah, no,
Yeah, exactly.
not in your 30s. You're not going to go to the NBA in your 30s.
no, exactly. I remember when I played college, very very briefly. There was these two guys that were brothers, and they had been in the military, and they had retired after 20 years in the military, and they were playing for this. You could do this at like small schools, and they were 39. One of them was like 38, and the other was 39, something like that. And they were like these two just big old white boys, and they were like, you know, just pretty decent sinners, you know. And and I was like, damn, these guys are old as fuck. You know, they're playing college basketball. Yeah.
Oh, no.
They were playing college basketball. And I always had that in my head, like in my early 30s, where I was like, I'm not going to do it, but it's kind of crazy that I could theoretically go back and play college basketball if I really wanted to.
If you got some eligibility left, why not?
Yeah.
I think I got like a year, but I would be trash. It'd be horrible.
Yeah, you don't see many players hanging around past their 30s. Once you get into the 40s, it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah, because LeBron he's the oldest guy in the league. He's just turned 39.
Yep. Something, curious to hear your take on this. I'll tell you a story that should have been picked up bigger in sports media that I didn't even see anyone even talk about was when, Udonis Haslem, right, played for Miami for all those years. He was the oldest player last year. He was like 42. Mm-hmm. And the only reason he stayed in the league so long is because he took less money so that LeBron could be there. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of paying him backwards by, him hanging around or whatever. So when he retired, that was the last player that ever played against Michael Jordan, or played at the same time Michael Jordan played.
So he must have caught the Wizards, Michael Jordan.
Right.
He didn't catch the Bulls,
No.
Yeah.
He was 20, LeBron is 04, he was 03.
LeBron's 03. 03, 04.
I think, because
04 was when, you're right.
Yeah. It's when he actually played in games, and Jordan retired in 03.
Yeah,
that was his
Wizards,
last season. So he was 1 year ahead of LeBron, Haslam, and it was like, that's what's crazy is LeBron just barely missed Jordan by 1 year, literally 1 year. Yeah. But when he retired though, that was the last guys. To me, that's like a big end of the era. Like there's no one even left in the league that was on the court with Michael Jordan.
No, and he played his entire career for one team, right?
What?
Haslam?
Oh, you know what? I think he did. That's
Played
right.
for the Heat,
That's right. Yeah.
That
is incredible. He was great. I remember watching him when I was playing high school ball because he was a guy I sort of tried to like model my game after. He was a guy like I kind of like related to, just the way he played. I was like,
lunch pail kind of guy.
Yeah, that's the kind of player I am. Like little spot up, jumpers, mid range, and shot blocker defense kind of. That was always kind of my thing. Like coaches always wanted to have my back. They wanted me on my back to the basket, making post moves. But I was so skinny back then that these guys would be shorter than me, but they could push me off my spot, And I was a great shooter. I was always like one of the best mid-range shooters on any team I've ever been on. And that would have been, I've always felt like if I'd stayed in college longer, I would have found that better. But in high school, I went to such a small school. They're like, you're fucking 6'8". No one around here is that big.
Get in the post, yeah.
You're Shaq. To them, I was Shaq. But really, I was like a Haslam. I was like, I'm like a
power forward.
Yeah, I could kind of do it all inside, but I was a shooter,
You know what I really like about this podcast? We are killing racial stereotypes because you would think that the black guy would be the guy with the basketball history.
Right.
No, dog, I suck. I suck. I played 1 year of high school basketball, and that was it.
And you got here like 2 hours early.
I got here 2 hours early. I got wonderful credit. No kids.
Yeah. I was like, all right, we're going to do this at like 7:45. A black guy named Larry in Houston. All right, he'll probably be here about 7:45 or after.
Shit,
hell no. Got a message from you at fucking 6 o'clock.
There we go. One stereotype at a time.
That's what we do on this podcast. This is the anti-stereotype podcast.
I like this. I like, you know what?
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
This has been great, man. It's been awesome to have you on, man.
Man, I told you. When I saw you in the secret group, I was looking, and you did the gun joke, and then you told me your name, and I was like, wait a minute. And then you said, man, my father, I was like, oh my God. I got starstruck, dog. I'm serious. I don't know if this ever happened to you, but I got starstruck. Like, I know you, motherfucker. Like, I watch you and your father. I'm like, wow, dog. This is a great birthday gift. Like, I'm not even blowing smoke. I was looking forward to this.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, it's great to talk to you. It was awesome to have you on. We'll do it again sometime. Like I said, come through Nashville.
Don't tempt me. I'll go book a flight tonight.
Okay.
I want to meet Pops. Mr. Hickok, I want to meet you, sir.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it like this summer or something. We'll do it.
I'm down.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, dog.
All right. Larry, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.